My name is Lana, and I'm a fan of sensual stories and explicit movies. I've put together a collection of the best stories that I'm sharing with you. Now, we're going to listen to a very special one. Let's go! Voice activated. Hello. Oh, yes. Good morning, Mr. Phelps. We've been expecting you. Please come on in. Let me take your coat. Yes, it is cool this morning. There. I'll just hand it over here. Please come on in. Make yourself at home. Let me show you to the living room. I love your suit. It's so trim and powerful looking. What's that? You didn't know Darren had a maid? Well, I'm not really... Oh, I know, the uniform and everything. Well, I suppose I am sorta... That is, I help out around the house. I'm Tammy, Crystal's sister. A pleasure to meet you too. You have very strong hands, Mr. Phelps. Please have a seat. Let me adjust those pillows for you. There you go. No, I'm sorry. Darren and Crystal have gone out for a while. I know he's expecting you though, so they should be back soon. Well, as far as I know, he's making a few sales calls. Yes, that's right. Salesman of the year. He never stops. Oh no, he likes to take Crystal with him these days, sorta an assistant, you know. She carries his briefcase, opens doors for him, that sort of thing. Seems to be a big hit with the clients. No, I don't think she minds at all. I'm sure she's happy to be helping her husband. But where are my manners? Can I get you a drink? Something to eat? Oh, we have everything you can imagine. Darren insists on keeping a well-stocked bar. I do all the shopping, so I know exactly what we have. Just a beer? Sure thing. Domestic or imported? Of course we have that brand. You just wait here. I'll be right back. There you go. I hope it's cold enough for you. Now, don't spill any on that classy silk tie, okay? Thank you. You're very kind. But actually, I'd prefer to stand. I'm not allowed... I shouldn't be sitting when we have a guest. No, don't concern yourself. The shoes don't bother me at all. You get used to them. I wear heels like these all the time, except at the gym, of course. Besides, sitting down in this dress, well, I'll stand, thanks. From the East Coast, originally. Yeah, that's right, big city girl. I am, a stockbroker. I'm pretty good at it too. I was with Meredith, Wilson, and Jenkins for a while. Yes, I know, good firm. I was very lucky. I'm still in the business. I handle all Darren's investments for him. Oh, go on. I'm not too pretty to be a stockbroker. Well, thank you, you smooth talker. This dress doesn't hide much, does it? Why did I decide to do what? Oh, you mean... stay here and help out around the house. No, I don't charge Darren anything. He's, well, family, you know. Besides, he lets me live here and everything. I get a bit of allowance. I still have my condo back east. It's in such a good neighborhood. I found I could rent it or for more than the mortgage payments. So I get a tidy profit. Darren gets... Oh, you know what I mean. Upset? Of course I'm not upset. Don't be silly. Here, let me get you another beer. You're sure you don't want something to eat? I did some baking just this morning. That's the spirit. Here, let me take your glass. I'll be right back, handsome. There you go. Help yourself to the pastries. There is a lots more. No, thank you. I'm not allowed. Darren prefers if I don't drink during the day. I have to stay in the top form, you know. Hey, I didn't mean that kind of form, silly. About, oh, going on 6 months. I came out here originally to check up on my kid sister. I was worried about her, to tell you the truth. At that time, I didn't like Darren very much. I only met him for the first time at the wedding, and he struck me then as really cruel, unsophisticated. And no offense, but I wasn't too thrilled about my sister marrying a traveling insurance salesman. Yes, I know, it's an honorable profession. I don't mean to offend one of your employees. Oh, don't worry about the crumbs. I'll clean the floor later. Anyway, Darren just didn't seem like he had much class, if you know what I mean. He got drunk at the wedding reception and made a pass at me. No, you little sweet talker, I wasn't dressed like this. I was a few pounds heavier, too. Let me tell you, I was incensed. I mean, here was my own sister, my only family, really, since my parents passed away, getting married to a complete I mean, I didn't like him very much. Well, time passed, and Darren turned out to be the husband I thought he would be. He was mean to Crystal. He drank like a fish. He flirted with everything in a skirt. He was a complete slob around the house. Oh, well, thank you. I do my best to keep it tidy. You never know when a good-looking fellow like you is going to step by. Where was I? Oh, yes, Darren. Well, the long and short of it is Darren turned out to be a an ass. A complete ass. I'm sorry. There are some words I just can't say. The point is, Darren wasn't the ideal husband. To make matters worse, he wasn't a particularly good insurance salesman either. I think he just got into it so he could try to smooth talk all the housewives. All he has a tongue on him, all right. Didn't know he was once arrested for fraud. Long time ago. No conviction, but still it just shows. No, you're right, of course, Mr. Phelps. It's not important at all. What does it matter? He's your top salesman now, but he wasn't Salesman of the Year back then. Let me tell you. In fact, he barely made his monthly quotas. Really? Was it that bad? No, I never realized he came so close to being fired. That explains a lot. You see, one night Crystal called me, terribly upset, and started babbling on about how awful Darren was behaving toward her and how miserable she was and everything. She was in tears, poor thing. To tell you the truth, though, I had a little trouble feeling sorry for her. She was the one that married the guy, right? My sister has always had a bit of self-esteem problem. Maybe it's because her older sis was always such an overachiever. I was making my own way up the ladder at Meredith, and a girl's got to be tough if she's going to make it there. Still, she's my sister, and we've always been close. But the real reason for Crystal's call and the thing that truly worried me was Darren had gone and done something incredibly ill-advised. He had paid a preposterous amount of money to buy into some sort of change your life scheme he saw advertised in a man's magazine. Can you believe it? Well, yes, it was one of those there. As a matter of fact, I can't recall which one. Bother me? Why should it bother me to have a few glossy magazines around the house? Actually, I buy them for Darren. No, really, he's much too busy to keep up on all the different kinds, so I pick up a few issues when I go shopping each week. Darren prefers that I go to a different shop each time, so all the clerks can get to know me. Oh, yes, in my uniform, or something even more revealing. Darren is fond of latex. Sometimes he orders, suggests that I flip through a couple of mags in the store, then ask a customer or the sales clerk to compare me against, one of the photo spreads in detail. You can't imagine how embarrassing that is. It gets me so. Well, enough about that. No, really, I'm fine. Just excitable, I suppose. Can I get you another beer? Sure, why not? It's Friday. Here, I'll refill the plate too. Oh, thank you. I'm glad you like them. I never tried bacon until recently. You have quite the appetite, don't you, big boy? Will you gobble up anything tempting I put in front of you? Oh, you're just saying that. No, please, go right ahead. You can thumb through them while you wait. I've read them all anyway. Darren insists. Excuse me a minute, I'll be right back. There, a fresh cold one. Some more pastries too. Of course you can nibble on. No, not those. It's a little hard to bend over in this dress. The ad? Oh yes, I forgot. It was one of those little ads you see in the back pages. That sell pheromones and magic glasses and stuff to attract women. Yes, you've seen them. This one offered some sort of confidence speaking program that would make anyone an irresistible orator. Sounded like a complete con to me, but Crystal told me that Darren had gone and ordered the program. It was horrendously expensive. He used up all their savings and even put a second mortgage on the house. A package arrived in the mail a few weeks later, and Crystal said that Darren started spending all his free time in the basement practicing this so-called training program. Every now and again, he would look at Crystal and in this funny voice, he would say something like, "Raise your arm," or "Bend over." When Crystal asked him why, he flew into a rage and started giving her no end of abuse. My sister was very worried. I decided to take a few vacation days and come out to see her. Well, Darren wasn't so thrilled when I showed up on his doorstep. I think he was still smarting about the slap I gave him in the wedding. But 2 days later, he tried to hit me up for a loan. Can you believe that? I was pretty well off, naturally, but I sure wasn't about to lend any of it to him, even if he was married to my sister. Not so he could blow it all on nonsense from the back of a skin mag. We got into a heated argument that ended when Darren stomped off into the basement again. I could hear him talking to himself down there for hours. Crystal says they had a big fight that night. Pacing? Was I pacing? Oh, sorry. Please, help yourself to the cookies. Oh, don't worry about the coffee table. Put your feet up. Get comfortable. Yes, of course I'll tell you the rest. The very next day, Darren came up to me with this funny look on his face. Like he was concentrating real hard. Standing up, he said. His voice was different. Not his real voice, but a kind of stage voice, like he was pretending to be a baritone. I stood up and said, "What do you want now?" Darren was still giving me that look. "Lift your left arm," was all he said. I stretched, lifting one arm over my head. "Why? What's going on?" Darren raised an eyebrow, but he still looked worried. "Okay, now, stand on one leg and hop up and down." I felt pretty silly hopping up and down on one leg with my arm in the air, so I was relieved when he told me to stop. "Are you just about through?" I said, giving him my best scowl. I'm trying to read the paper. Darren's expression had changed to one of pure astonishment, like he had found a £1,000 note in his pants pocket. Well, I'll be, he said almost to himself. It does work. Then he gave me that phony voice again. Now, open up your blouse and show me those little titties. You can imagine my reaction. You can't? Well, I just lit right into him for being such a insensitive person. I really gave him a piece of my mind. What a thing to say! Then I looked down and saw that I had unbuttoned my blouse. I was amazed. I started blubbering, wondering what was going on, but my hands never stopped. I pulled my bra up over my breast so he could see them better. I was mortified, but I just couldn't stop. Well, Darren said in his ordinary voice. Little Miss Tight-Ass has a nice pair after all. Who would have think it? Kinda small, though, aren't they? Not much there for a man to get his hands on, is there? What? How can... Why? I stammered, holding my blouse open. What's going on? Darren started talking in that voice again. Well, he snarled, answer me. You have little titties, don't you? I don't know what came over me. I had never thought about the size of my breast before, but now I felt so ashamed. They were so small. I felt myself burning with shame. Yes, I said softly, I'm small. What is small? Darren persisted. My breasts are small. Your what? Titties. My titties are too small. I felt like crying. I was so inadequate. I just stood there like an idiot, hand in my head. Oh, thank you. Aren't you sweet? This dress is sort of designed to make the most of what nature gave me. Okay, I'm a long way from flat, but Darren prefers his women a lot fuller. We're going to do something about that real soon. Here, let me show you what I mean. Where is that one? Ah, here we are. Take a look at her. Miss April, that's the kind of figure Darren prefers. I see you do too, Trigger. After my enhancement, I'll be at least as big as her. Maybe bigger. I can hardly wait. You want to hear more? Okay. Right at that moment, Crystal came into the room. Then comes a too explicit part, which I skip because of YouTube restrictions. You can find out how to listen to the extended version of the story in the description below, or by watching a separate short video on my channel. The link is on the screen. See you later.